This is my research video on Cirque du Soleil. I did my dissertation on Cirque du Soleil and I find things like the circus very interesting. What I found out when doing my research on Cirque du Soleil is that they are a contemporary-based circus company. What I mean by contemporary is that they're abstract. They do loads of different things using lots of different colours and are very out there with their style. They use dances, acrobatics, and aerial. Obviously, we don't use acrobatics and aerial in our shoots, but we do use acrobatics in our Cirque du Soleil scene, which I have mentioned that my solo is in. When looking at Cirque du Soleil, I have picked up many of their movements and ideas. They're quite wacky and they use various lighting cues and also perform in a circus tent. We are the complete opposite to Cirque du Soleil when it comes to costume and makeup and how our show is going, but how they act as a company we follow. We have a Cirque du Soleil part in the start of the show, which is mainly counterbalances and little work routines, showing our flexibility as the audience come in as a warm-up routine. My solo is in this as I based my dissertation on it, and my solo was based around my dissertation. Cirque du Soleil have inspired me in many different ways, and I think they have inspired the rest of my cast. Yes, we are very different to them with facial features, as in how we act on stage and how we do not clown around or anything, but when it comes to the performance side, I think their lighting cues relates to our show. You can see that they care about the performance just as much as we do, even if it's a different scene. Yes, it is contemporary circus, but it's also contemporary dance. They use different styles as well. Their music choices are very much like ours. Most of them don't have words in, they're just background noises. We have used 4 of their songs in our opening number. For me, Cirque du Soleil is probably my main inspiration for this show, but just because it's something personal to me which I already learnt about, and my solo is about it. So my idea for my solo in Cirque du Soleil is that I'm in some form of water and I have to get out somehow. So to me, I've watched many of their performances and one of the songs was called Rain One. So to me, I imagined that I was in water and that I'm swishing around and I'm trying to get out. Cirque du Soleil use lots of massive props, which we are the opposite, but they adapt it to their own. So by researching them, we can see what and how they use their props, the opposite how we'd use ours. They use big scaled objects in their shows, and we're having nothing, so it's quite nice to see the contrast between two. Their costumes are very coloured, and to us, ours aren't. When looking at them, when researching into them, you can see where they've come from. So they came from like 3 street performers and they've grown into a company, and I feel like as the show goes on, the first part is just Brooke on stage by herself, and I feel like you can see us growing as we come on in the second part of that dance, and I think that you can see like us adapting just like how they've adapted.